Hi guys, welcome back to Yogalates with SJ and to this yoga for neck, shoulders, upper back. This is a 20-minute practice and we're going to be really focusing on those areas today. So you don't need any equipment for this, just finding a kneeling position and starting to roll the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down, just finding a soft core engagement. And we are finding a lengthening out of the tailbone down, and then you're just starting to bring the chin to chest as you start to round the spine, and then you're inhaling as you come back up to that lengthened spine. And then exhale as you start to round forward, bringing the shoulders forward, chin to chest, and then inhale as you start to come all the way back up and releasing the shoulders down. And keeping this going, so as you continue here, just starting to really feel into the upper back here. As you round forward, you are dropping the shoulders down and away from the ears, but you're also rounding the shoulders forward and finding that really nice stretch through the upper back, the back of the neck. And then as you start to lengthen back up, you're starting to let the tailbone lengthen down, and you are drawing those shoulders all the way back up towards the ears, and then you are releasing the shoulders back down and away from the ears, releasing, and then rounding back into this, so chin to chest. And just finding that nice drawing up from the pelvic floor all the way out the top of the head as you come up. Now let's reverse this. So you're starting to just round forward, bringing the shoulders up and releasing the shoulders down as you bring the chin to chest. And then you are using your core muscles to draw you all the way back up. As you continue with this, you are letting the fingertips relax, the hands relaxing, and just letting those shoulders come all the way up towards the ears, releasing the shoulders forward and down, chin to chest, and then drawing all the way up, finding that lengthening up. Head is over the heart, heart is over the pelvis, and then rounding forward again, bringing that belly button back towards the spine, and then starting to draw all the way back up again, finding length. And then you're rounding those shoulders forward again, finding that beautiful C shape of the spine, and then as you inhale again, coming all the way back up, lengthening up from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head. Nice. Now let's come all the way to a seated position. So any kind of cross-legged position that feels comfortable for you. And we are just taking some time here to find that grounding down of the tailbone. So you're finding length from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head. You might move the fleshy parts of the tailbone and the glutes out of the way, just so you can find that nice connection here. Rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, and just letting the hands relax to the top of the knees. And then we're finding that rounding again of the spine. So chin to chest, tucking the tailbone, bringing the belly button back towards the spine. And then as you inhale, finding length as you let the gaze come up towards the ceiling. And then you're rounding back again, tucking the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale as you come up, finding length, finding that head coming back, lifting the gaze, and then rounding back again, tucking the tailbone, chin tucks down, keeping this going. So it is like a seated cat-cow here, just letting the shoulders be away from the ears, letting the arms relax, the hands relaxing. Just allowing the body to really flow with this in a way that is feeling amazing for you today. So as you lift the gaze, you're finding that openness through the front side of the neck, and then you are finding that openness of heart as well. And then as you start to bring the chin back to the chest, you're just letting there be a beautiful C shape into the spine, and then we are coming all the way up, just starting to roll the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders back and down, maybe moving a little bit through the head and neck, any way that feels awesome. And then we are starting to reverse this, bringing the shoulders all the way up and forward and down, And again, just moving the head and neck around, and just maybe taking some deep breaths here, in through the nose, out the nose or mouth. And then we are just finding that length here again. So sitting up nice and tall, bringing the chin to chest, relaxing the head, so letting the head be really heavy here. And then as you inhale, bringing the head back up. And then as you exhale, bringing the right ear to right shoulder. You might want to reach the left fingertips to one side, finding even more length through the side of the neck here. And you might even want to bring the right hand to come up and over, placing the hand to the side of the head. Just a tiny little bit of weighting down here through that side of the head as you find some really nice length through that left side. Just letting the shoulders relax, allowing the jaw to soften, and relaxing here through that side of the neck. And then inhale, sweeping the arm up, exhale, releasing down. And let's come straight over to the other side. So sweeping the left hand up and over, maybe placing the hand to the side of the head, and you might reach the right fingertips to that right side. And just starting to relax the shoulders down. You've still got really nice length into the spine here. Just allowing a really nice stretch into the side of the neck. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. Relaxing all the muscles of the face. Maybe the eyes are gently closing down. And then as you inhale, coming all the way back up with that arm releasing down. And then just starting to round the spine again, bringing the chin to chest, reaching the fingertips forward. And then as you inhale, you're starting to lift the gaze, heart comes up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale again, rounding the spine, chin to chest, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, starting to come all the way back up, letting the head come back and shoulders away from the ears. And then chin to chest again, and rounding into the spine. Belly button comes back towards the spine. Inhale, coming up, lifting the gaze, heart comes up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you round the spine, chin to chest. Flowing with this, finding that really nice openness of heart as you lift the heart up towards the ceiling, and letting the head come back, finding that really nice stretch into the front side of the throat as well. Keeping the mouth closed as you do this. And then we are coming all the way back to our neutral position. Finding that length again, all the way out the top of the head. And then you're letting the gaze come over to the left side, and then letting the chin come all the way down and around to that right side. And then you are continuing to do this. So it's a half circle all the way around to one side and then the other. And as you continue with this, noticing that length from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head. And so you're sitting up really tall, but at the same time you are also just letting the head freely flow from one side to the other, really getting into all of the muscles of the neck. Now you might start to make this a full circle, so circling the head all the way around. And as you continue here, you might just start to breathe a little more deeply. Breathing in and exhaling out. Letting everything flow. Maybe you are closing the eyes or finding that soft gaze as you relax into all of the head muscles, the muscles of the face, and then circling back in the opposite direction. Just finding a really nice flow all the way around. And if there's any parts of the neck that you're noticing are a little bit tighter, you might want to take a little bit of time to roll a few times over those, almost as though you are using a rolling pin to gently roll those parts out before continuing on. Continuing to breathe here. Deep breaths in through the nose and all the way back out the nose or mouth. Beautiful. And then coming all the way back, bringing the chin to chest and then lengthening back up, rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. And we're coming all the way to our tabletop position. So taking your time to find a tabletop coming to the knees, and then bringing the big toes together, the knees out wide, and starting to find the hands walking forward, sitting back even further towards the heels, and then starting to lower the forehead all the way down towards the earth. And maybe if it doesn't feel comfortable here, you might want to have the hands coming back towards the head a little bit if it feels too much in the shoulders. But if you want a deeper stretch, you're starting to walk those hands even further forward. Taking some cleansing breaths here in child's pose. Inhaling deeply into the belly, expanding, and then as you exhale, sending that exhalation all the way to the base of the spine. Pelvis is heavy, relaxing the hips, the outer thighs, inner thighs. On your next inhale, just starting to gaze up softly and walking the hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe you're stacking one hand on top of the other, so bringing the left hand to stack on top of the right, and then lowering back down, forehead comes back onto your mat. Just keeping that length of the tailbone out as you allow the pelvis to be heavy to the back of the heels. Taking those breaths here into the sideways. And then starting to gaze up on your next inhale, exhale as you start to walk the hands over to the other side. Maybe you're stacking that right hand on top of the left, or maybe you have the hands side by side, lowering down, melting the heart, forehead comes down towards the earth. Allowing that beautiful breath into the right side waist, breathing deeply in. And exhale it out. And then on your next inhale, starting to slowly gaze up and walking the hands back through center. And then you are drawing all the way back up to your tabletop position, finding a nice connection of the shins, the top of the feet, and the wrists are in line with the shoulders, cat-cow. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale as you round the spine, bringing the chin to chest. Inhale, starting to gaze up, tailbone up, and then exhale, rounding back. Keeping this going. So anything here that feels amazing today for you, just finding a beautiful movement from cat to cow. So you're gazing up, bringing the tailbone up, and then you're rounding the spine, bringing the chin to chest, finding that C shape, and allowing everything to flow freely, taking those deeper breaths. Beautiful work. And then coming all the way back to your tabletop. Inhale, left arm lifts up as you gaze up. Exhale, thread the needle, bringing the arm all the way through. And then inhale, gaze up as you start to lift that left arm up. And then thread the needle, lowering down onto that left shoulder. Inhale, coming up, opening out. Exhale as you start to thread the needle. Inhale, coming up, lengthening. Exhale, coming all the way down and lowering down onto that left shoulder, bringing the left side of the head to your mat, keeping that nice lengthening out of the tailbone. And you might even want to walk the right hand forward, or you might want to take the back of that right hand, placing it to the lower back, finding a nice openness through that right side shoulder. Just taking those deeper breaths here. We're trying to keep the hips nice and square to the mat, and then we are going to come all the way out of this when you're ready. Inhale, coming up, lengthening the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening out. Exhale, bringing the hand back and rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale, let's come back to that tabletop, finding a nice thread the needle on this right side. So just continuing here. And inhale, right fingertips come up, gazing up. Exhale, thread the needle, bringing the arm all the way through. And then we are going to do one more here, and then coming all the way down and bringing the side of the head down, bringing the back of that right shoulder to come down onto your mat. Maybe you're starting to walk the hand forward, that left hand, or you might take the back of the left hand and bring it to the lower back. Starting to breathe deeply here. So breathing in and sending that breath to the shoulder, sending that breath to start to release out into the back of the shoulder. head is heavy, and then on your next inhale, we're coming all the way back up, pressing into the left hand, reaching the right fingertips up, opening up, and then bringing the hand back and coming all the way back to your tabletop. Starting to tuck the toes and then untucking the toes, and we are starting to walk the hands forward, keeping the hips and the knees in the same line. So you've got that nice tabletop position here of the knees and the hips, but then you're walking the hands all the way forward, starting to melt the heart down as you let the arms come as far forward down as you can without moving forward, and just bringing the forehead down onto your mat, taking some breaths here in puppy pose, breathing deeply in and fully out. If it feels too much, guys, you can always bring the hands to come closer to the head, so bringing the hands back towards the head more. And then on your next inhale, just starting to gaze softly up, walking the hands back in and starting to round the spine, chin to chest, letting the arms float down, finding a rounding forward of the shoulders, and then you are starting to keep that ragdoll of the head and the arms, and just allowing the tailbone to lengthen down towards the mat, and then you're starting to keep the chin tucked as you roll all the way up to a high kneeling, and then inhale, sweeping the arms up, looking up, exhale, little back bend as you bring the heart to shine up towards the ceiling, and then you're coming all the way forward, and then inhale, rolling back up, exhale, opening the heart and starting to bring the arms forward as you start to lower down, pressing the hips back. Inhale, coming up, finding that lengthening up, exhale, sweeping the arms, and then floating back down. And then you are coming back through to your tabletop position, and we're starting to come all the way down to our back. So just lowering down, taking your time to come to your back, letting the arms come out into a cactus shape. Their shoulders are slightly higher than the elbows here. And then you're starting to just bring the left knee in, so hugging that left knee in, any movement into the foot that feels good, and the toes. And then you might want to reach that right leg long for a deeper stretch. Just taking a moment here to find a nice stretch here, and then starting to gently guide the leg across the body, finding a beautiful twist. So you might let the left arm come out wide. Maybe you've got the right hand on the outside of that left knee. Just letting the back of the shoulders relax to the earth. You might have the head in a neutral here, or you might let the head roll over to face towards that left side. Taking a deep breath in and a full breath out. Feeling that expansion of the side weights, the side ribs as you inhale. As you exhale, starting to relax down, letting everything go, letting everything relax out. Continuing to breathe deeply here, in through the nose, breathing into the side waist, and then exhale as you relax even further into this. And then when you're ready, we're unraveling, so coming all the way back, hugging the left knee in one more time towards that left shoulder. Any kind of movement into the foot that feels amazing, and then just starting to find a nice big stretch, reaching the arms and legs long, and then let's come straight to the other side. So starting to hug the right knee in towards the right shoulder, and then you are starting to gently guide the leg all the way across the body. Maybe here you're bringing the right arm out a little bit further, flipping the palm towards the ceiling. You might take the left hand and place it to the outside of the knee, just allowing the back of the shoulders to find that softness into the earth. And maybe the head might start to roll over towards that right side. Just taking those deeper breaths into the side waist here, breathing in, ribs expanding, and then exhale, exhale, release, letting it all go. And then starting to take some time here to come all the way back out of this, maybe having a little rock of the head from side to side. And then we are coming back, and you are hugging the right knee in one more time, squeezing it in. And then as you exhale, just finding a beautiful release of the arms and the legs, letting The arms maybe come out a bit wider. The feet might come out to the wide edges of your mat. Relaxing the outside of the feet even further to either side. Maybe just letting the head roll over to face towards the right side. And just taking some deep breaths with the head starting to find a weighting down on that right side. Beautiful stretch through the side of the neck. Taking a deep breath in, belly, ribs, heart expand. And then exhale it all the way out as you release. And find a wash of relaxation all the way down through the whole body. And then on your next inhale, just slowly coming back through center, exhale, letting the head gently come over to the other side, relaxing down, heavy, 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 over to that left side. Finding those deep breaths here, breathing deeply in, belly, ribs, heart expands. And then finding that beautiful, slow breath all the way back out. And then we're just slowly starting to let the head come back through center, finding even more openness across the front side of the shoulders. Anything that feels really good here, just finding a few cleansing breaths in through the nose, out the nose or mouth. And you are all done, you guys. Well done. Can't wait to see you again. So take care.